Alright, so in today's video, we're going to be doing a reaction. I'll just be honest, Wuthering Waves doesn't really have that much to really cover right now, so I figured why not me just go search for some stuff. I literally just looked up Wuthering Waves and looked by view count to see if there was anything I could really, make a reaction on. So apparently someone has a problem with the free Xiangli Yao. I'm not really sure what could really be the issue here. So I'm just going to hear what they have to say. Hopefully they don't shoot themselves in the foot, but let's get right into it.
What is going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Wuthering Waves video. Let's talk about Xiangli Yao, Mr. Walmart Genos over here. The guy looks all like a PS5. All jokes aside, if you're a Wuthering Waves player, it's probably an exciting time right now. Version 1.2 is here, and there's a bunch of new and exciting content to jump into. Just a bit after that, we'll be all getting a
new and exciting content. Man's talking about the fucking festival. I mean, honestly, you know what's funny? I think a lot of people probably were gonna hate on the festival, but they got addicted to getting so many fucking points in it. But I'm gonna let the man speak.
Free Xiangli Yao as a limited 5-star unit when we're only 3 months into the game. I'm sure he'll be a welcome and very powerful addition to everyone's account. But that's not what I'm really here to talk about. I wanted to talk about something I noticed recently that might raise some questions and concerns regarding the free Xiangli Yao and Kuro's strategy of giving him out for free.
My god, she's so fucking hot.
Might be missing the mark on the requirements and the time window to claim the free Xiangli Yao. And I'll obviously explain my rationale on why that can be a problem, but I think there's a silver lining here that might point to more free 5-stars in the future that you might want to stick around to hear. Remember, if you enjoy this kind of content, be sure to leave
a like and subscribe. So apparently the timing is the issue. Okay.
Now, without further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's first make sure we're all caught up to speed.
I'm really hoping the timing issue isn't really gonna be that much like of an issue, really trying to ride off of that, because I'll be honest, gacha games and MMOs do this shit all the time, where things last a certain amount of time and you can only get that free thing in a certain amount of time, and if you miss out, you miss out. It is what it is. You're not playing the game consistently. So I really hope that he does not really ride that wave.
On what we actually need to do to unlock the free Xiangli Yao. At the end of the version 1.2 trailer, we were shown a graphic that said in order to get the free 5-star, we had to participate in the event by Moon's Grace and meet a certain condition tied to the event minigame. When I first saw this image, some alarm bells were already ringing in my head, and you might be wondering, it's such a small and simple graphic, what could possibly be the problem? Well, the problem and the starting point for all my concerns is that based on the information in this graphic, the unlock condition for the free 5-star is event limited. Because the By Moon's Grace event is tied to the game's celebration of the Moon Chasing Festival, which is a representation of the Mid-Autumn Festival in Chinese culture, once version 1.2 is over, we won't be able to revisit the festival event. That'd be like being able to play a Christmas event long after Christmas has already passed. Naturally, this also means that we only get 3 weeks to claim the free Xiangli Yao, and it's directly tied to event progression instead of something that's just plopped into your mailbox. And here's where I begin to find problems with how Kuro is distributing this free 5-star to us. I know.
Oh, wait. I'm gonna let him finish the section prior to say anything.
I'm grateful right now, nitpicking all sorts of details about a literal free 5-star, but bear with me here and hear me out. This is all for the health of the game and ensuring that Kuro can more effectively give these freebies to as many people as possible. The first problem is a timing issue. The bottom line.
Alright, so honestly, oh man, I kind of don't even want to look at the comments of this video because I already know this man probably got fucking blasted in the comments, I'm not gonna lie. To be honest, like every gacha game does this, where they have an event where there's something free that comes out, a free character, free equipment, etc, etc, and you can only get it in that limited time, and then eventually they release that same event where you're able to get that same thing that you were able to get free before later down the line. I'm not really sure if it's that much of an issue, to be honest. I mean, it's simply you play during this event, you get this character for free instead of having to pull it. That's it. Like, it is what it is. If you play the game, you're gonna get the rewards for it. If you don't play the game, you missed out. And that's how, marketing works. Like, I don't know if he's gonna shit on marketing, but if you think Kuro needs to market any other way, that's how the marketing is, right? Like, play the game now, get a free 5-star character that's probably going to be better than Calcharo. That entices you to play the game, right? And even if you do play the game, we still have the free 5-star in the mail. So if you start the game because Xiangli Yao, you get 2 free 5-star characters. That's literally your team right there. And then if you really want to, you can select Jian Shin from your 5-star summon selector, and then your 5-star ticket is Verena. That's literally your first team. So I don't know. Let the man cook. Let the man cook.
Line here is that I think a 3-week window to claim the free 5-star is just way too short.
Yeah, see, yeah, you're already fucked up. You're already fucked up. Just, I don't know what we're doing. Like, please redeem yourself. Please, I don't know what we're doing here. Just FOMO is literally how gacha games make money. It's a predatory tactic. We all know this. We all know what happens when we start playing gacha games. It's a predatory tactic. MMOs do the same thing. Play the game now, get this, get that. If you don't play now, you're not gonna get it. It is what it is. And Xiangli Yao is also gonna have a banner. If you get him for free, you just gotta pull him later. And who's to say that Kuro doesn't release events where you get the character for free anyways?
When they could be using
I'm gonna let him finish out this entire section.
help their marketing and capture a bigger audience. So what do I mean by this? I just don't think 3 weeks is enough for the free Xiangli Yao to have maximum appeal value to new and returning players. And I want to explain this with a comparison to how Honkai Star Rail handled their free doctor ratio.
Oh no, oh no, oh no. I kind of want to look at the comments for fun. Oh, you do not. Don't ever mention Hoyo and Kuro in the same sentence. You, oh brother.
Game Award for Best Mobile Game, they gave out a free doctor ratio in celebration of it. The
Yes,
patch
they
they
did.
gave out the free doctor ratio in version 1.6 was right before version 2.0 when the story would progress to a new region. Pretty similar to the case with the free Xiangli Yao, right? Xiangli Yao is being given out in celebration of the moon chasing / mid-autumn festival, and judging by the shorekeeper, the next patch will be pretty story relevant as well, since we'll be going to the Black Shores and hopefully learn more about the Rover's Pass. But here's the difference.
I'm not even gonna let you speak. That is not the same thing at all whatsoever. That is not the same thing at all whatsoever. A character being free based on an event and a character being free based on an award are totally different things because how much the value is for that. If Star Rail wins an award and it releases, a character for free, it's going to be for a large amount of time because it's giving back to the community. Thank you. As a reward, you can log in and receive Dr. Ratio for this time period. And it's going to be longer than an event because it's not based off an event. It is what it is. Xiangli Yao is nowhere near that. It's literally just for an event. You clear this event, you can get this character. He has a stage for Elusive Realm. Everything is within the patch character Xiangli Yao. That's it. Why are we comparing? That's not even. I don't know where that similarity even tried to come from. Comparing Dr. Ratio as a reward, right? Because if you really want to compare Dr. Ratio and another reward from Kuro, the reward would be the 5-star ticket that we have for the entire year, as a thank you for playing the game. And sorry we fucked up, but here you go.
The free Doctor Ratio didn't just expire the moment version 1.6 ended and his debut banner was over. He was claimable by anyone, no strings attached, no event progression needed until the end of version 2.1.
Yeah, and that's literally the 5-star ticket that we have already.
3.5 months after he officially dropped in the game. And 3.5 months is a pretty big deal because two very important things happened in that time. The first is that in those 3.5 months, people were able to quickly figure out how strong Doctor Ratio was, which allowed word to quickly get around that Honkai Star Rail had a pretty good new player experience. Because not only do new players get the beginner banner and all the free pulls you get just by
Same thing for Wuthering Waves having a free 5-star ticket already and having Verena. A new player playing the game not getting Xiangli Yao is not going to hurt them. There's plenty of videos on YouTube. We see Shishia clearing everything, right? Like, are we being serious here? And Star Rail, mechanic-wise, is a totally different game that characters would actually matter depending on the content that you're playing. Compared to Wuthering Waves, that you can kind of just slap anything.
by playing the game, which will eventually net you a standard 5-star and at least a limited 5-star. You also get a very competent DPS unit in Dr. Ratio. Obviously he's pretty team and setup reliant because of how his kit works, but when you're a new player who needs 2 teams to challenge endgame content, a limited 5-star is a limited 5-star. And 3 months is a good ballpark for people to get into the game and progress far enough where they're starting to understand the game's systems, get their first taste of endgame content, and actually share with other people what their new player experience with Dr. Ratio was like, and maybe spread that word of mouth to another wave of new players. You just simply cannot achieve that amount of progression and spreading of word of mouth in just 3 weeks. The second big thing that happened with Dr. Ratio was that right when his claimable period was about to end, we got Aventurine. Aventurine, a sustained character best suited for follow-up teams, was a very popular and charismatic character, and just so happened to share a lot of screen time with Dr. Ratio and had a very interesting dynamic with him. This obviously then led to a lot of social media engagement and discussion about these two characters together, one being the free and
Honestly just shaking my head right now.
being the popular flavor of the month character who just so happened to be his best pairing. This attention on Dr. Ratio was only amplified with the reveal of Robin's kit and the announcement of a Topaz rerun in the next version update. Robin would be the best in slot support for follow-up DPS characters like Dr. Ratio, and Topaz was the best in slot sub DPS to amplify follow-up damage, which Dr. Ratio does a lot of. All of a sudden, this created an enormous amount of new player and returning player incentive, because in the span of just about a month, you could potentially have the best in slot follow-up team, an extremely powerful and meta-relevant team. And so what was initially a free 5-star to celebrate an award and drive up engagement in the game before a new region dropped, in the span of 3.5 months, it has been elevated into something that can allow the game to capture a bigger audience due to how much value this free character can have for new and returning players. So if you're following along, you can probably start to see why I think 3 weeks feels just a bit too short, right? Instead of the free Xiangli Yao just being a 3-week thing, why not extend the claim period to really let people have the chance to engage in that discourse and spread the word of mouth on what it's like to start or return to Wuthering Waves with a free Xiangli Yao, or bring him back in the story later on to have an interesting interaction with another popular character that then gets people talking. And if he's actually going to be the better Calcharo like a lot of people say he will be, why not extend the claim period until at least when Yinlin gets her rerun? That way, new and returning players have that extra push and extra incentive to jump into the game, because the best in slot Electro team will be right there waiting for them. For the longest time, I felt like Wuthering Waves has been very shaky with their marketing, with some very high highs, but also some very questionable lows. But it's stuff like this where they could turn a celebration into something that can create a pull and incentive to play the game that would really help their marketing and outreach in more subtle ways. And I just feel like it's something they could really use to elevate the amount of engagement and discourse surrounding the game that they're just not capitalizing on yet. The second problem is an accessibility issue.
Oh man, fucking Yap Fest, bro. Holy shit. Like, why are we mentioning Dr. Ratio coming out and then other banners coming out that apply to Dr. Ratio in a totally different landscape, in a totally different game, that would actually matter compared to Wuthering Waves, when Xiangli Yao probably is not even going to need Yinlin. You can just play Jian Shen instead, or any other team comp. Holy Jesus, it's not the same thing. It's just not. It's just not. Like, the only point I agree with there is that if you want to have Xiangli Yao until Yinlin comes out, sure. Sure. Because, again, Yinlin is the best partner for Xiangli Yao. So, sure. I can see that if you want to extend it that far until Yinlin comes out. But to have him like 3 months, no, absolutely not. And people respect FOMO. People that play gacha games or MMOs respect FOMO because they like to feel like they actually care about the game that they play. Oh, my account got Xiangli Yao for free. Yours did it? Well, I like to play this game more than you. A lot of people feel that way. That's just how they feel. If we got a free skin to come out, right? Like, say not next patch, 1.4, right? There's actually free skins, right? And you can only get that skin during that patch, right? Until maybe it comes out like another time. People love that shit that actually play the game. You want to know why? Because the FOMO of it. They're like, I got it, you didn't. Why? Because I play the game more. Play the game. It is what it is. And people that are casuals even could feel the same way too, because dailies log in, dude, dailies log out. Holy Jesus. Like, the only thing I really agree in this video is that if you really want to extend Xiangli Yao until Yinlin comes out to really, get that team comp going for a new player, if they're going to start out the game, sure. Sure. But to extend him because of because Star Rail did this, Star Rail did that, Star Rail better marketing this, better marketing that. The market is literally that Xiangli Yao is free, so come play the game now. If you don't get him for free.
They're giving out the free Xiangli Yao with 3 weeks to claim it, but the question is, who can actually claim it? The game has been improving its mobile performance, but it's still pretty wobbly. And most importantly, what about our PlayStation bros? Just a few weeks ago, we got our first look at the PlayStation build for Wuthering Waves, but the official release on PlayStation probably isn't coming out anytime soon, and definitely not in time for the free Xiangli Yao. And that's where the problems start to emerge. Remember how I was talking about generating engagement and spreading word of mouth about the game? Well, the thing about that is, it's obviously better and more effective for word of mouth to spread if you start with a bigger pool of people to get talking about the game. More people means more people talking about the game, which means potentially more people listening and getting interested in the game. So by doing this free 5-star event to get people to join or return to the game before they've even captured this PlayStation audience, they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot here because they're immediately starting with a smaller pool of people than what they could potentially be working with. And the other thing is that if I know anything about gacha players is that they hate missing out. So imagine what it'd be like for PlayStation players when Wuthering Waves eventually comes to PlayStation. They hop onto the game and give it a try, only to find out that they missed out on this probably very strong unit before they even had a chance to take an interest in the
They have Shorekeeper. If it comes out next patch, they have Shorekeeper. And Shorekeeper will help out any of the characters that they have until they have a character DPS wise that they want to pull
game or be able to play it themselves. And while it's ultimately a single player game, it does feel a little discouraging when you always feel like you're on the back foot in terms of progression and account strength. So it's pretty clear by now that there are some issues, okay, maybe issues is not the best word to use here, but missed opportunities when it comes to how Cruel Games is handling the free Xiangli Yao. But between all these missed opportunities, I see a silver lining here. The thing is, even though the claim window to get the free Xiangli Yao is pretty short, I could see this being part of Cruel's long-term strategy to give out more free 5-stars in the future. The more I think about it, the big reason why I think the claim window for the free Doctor Ratio and the free Xiangli Yao have such a huge disparity is because the free 5-stars are almost unprecedented in Hoyoverse games, let alone free limited 5-stars. Because of this, they kind of had to make the claim window longer because of how monumental of an event this is for their games. On the other hand though, Cruel already has a proven track record in their other game, Punishing Grey Raven, for giving out a lot of free limited 5-stars. So what this means is, the short time window for the free Xiangli Yao is very likely Cruel Games generating and testing engagement in the game, incentivizing people to play more actively, as well as setting a precedent for what could potentially come down the line. Because now with the free Xiangli Yao, people are talking about the game more and anticipating the next free 5-star. And knowing Cruel's track record, it's very likely they'll give out another free 5-star for their half-year anniversary, or their 1-year anniversary, or for another major Chinese festivity. And the moment that they do give that out, it sets a precedent for existing players and people engaging with the game, because then people would say, you should play this game because they frequently give out 5-stars that are actually quite strong. Oh, you're joining the game late? Don't worry, the game gives out a lot of free 5-stars, so you won't feel too far behind. Oh, you missed the window to get that free 5-star? Don't worry.
My question is, why didn't you just use this topic of conversation right here instead of this whole entire thing here trying to relate it to Star Rail? If they're ripping you apart in the comments, that's probably why. Because people that watch these videos, as soon as they get to the 2-minute mark and they hear you trying to compare it to Star Rail, like, it's fucking done. It's GG's.
Just stick around for a bit, they'll probably release another one soon. So, compared to how Honkai Star Rail handled the free Doctor Ratio, what I think Wuthering Waves is doing is they're taking a slightly different approach to serve a very similar purpose. They don't need the 5-star itself and what they do in the game, what their story is, or how this character interacts with other characters to be the thing driving engagement and incentivizing people to play the game. Instead, what their track record with Punishing Grey Raven leads me to believe is that they will turn this act of giving out free 5-stars into a regular event and use that as the thing that gets people talking about the game and recommending it to other people. If this silver lining turns out to be true and Cruel Games does plan on giving out a free 5-star every couple months, then I can totally see why they would limit the time window to get the free 5-star to only 3 weeks. I think my earlier criticisms still stand, and I think they could do so much more with how they use their
it kind of negates, to be honest, your whatever you were trying to say in the beginning. Obviously, I know what you're trying to say. My apologies, but my lord, everything that you said at the end kind of just contradicts that in the end. But here's my take, right? At the end of the day, it's a gacha game, right? People that play gacha games for a long time know what it is. And Wuthering Waves is a gacha game very different from other turn-based gacha games that factor characters way more and way more difficult depending on what you actually have. Wuthering Waves is a skill issue based game that eventually you can clear content depending on your echo stat rolls and your actual mechanics. And is that a lie? No. There's plenty of content on Wuthering Waves where many people are free to play, using free to play characters or no summonings on their account and clearing tower 30-30 because they have good echo rolls. Yeah, it takes time, but if you actually care about the game, you'll farm that. So, basing, oh, well, they'll miss out on Xiangli Yao because he's strong. It's a limited character. Don't you want the limited character to be free for people that come join the game? There's so many other characters you can use to clear content. We're seeing people with Ling Yang clearing tower, right? I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't see where the real problem could really lie here. Like, we're talking about marketing. The point of the marketing is that it's limited. It's a FOMO tactic. That's how marketing works for these games. You FOMO the hell out of people to come play the game. It is what it is. I feel like the silver lining part, you kind of understood what exactly was going on. And I'm not really sure why you were trying to press Kuro to match like HSR like tactics and things like that, when that's a totally different situation that you were trying to explain with HSR involving multiple characters that apply to Doctor Ratio, when this is not that game. It's only one character and it's Yinlin. If you don't have Yinlin, that's not even that bad. Just get Jian Shin from a selector if you care about Xiangli Yao that bad. You get Verena from your free 5-star ticket. If your selector summons, get Jian Shin and play Xiangli Yao, and that's your first team comp right there. No problem at all. You're missing out on the electro damage bonus from Yinlin, but you still got the liberation damage bonus, and you'll still be able to clear content, still be able to clear hologram 6 without a problem. The problems is the players and how much time they dedicate the game, not really Xiangli Yao being free. But hey, that's my take on this video. It was very interesting. Very interesting. Definitely am more excited to react to more content or takes from people. I'm kind of interested in what people have to say about stuff in this game when nothing else is going on. But, see you guys in the next one. Leave a like, subscribe if you guys haven't yet. Remember, Black Myth Wukong is a fucking fun ass game.